little jacked up in here, I won't lie.
Happy New Year's, everybody. We're in Havasu Springs. You know it. We're bringing in this new year out rock crawling. Pretty sick setup. Our friend Nick, they have got a place out here in Havasu Springs. We got a camp spot. They gave us a sweet little golf cart because that's what everybody drives around here. We're gonna go meet up with them and we're gonna go smash rocks. Over here in the golf cart in old Havasu Springs, getting ready to rock crawl. Check this out. Whoa! No brakes, no brakes, no brakes. Look at the spikes. Don't roll backwards.
No.
I need a banana peel. These golf carts are sick. Well, because we brought the camper, Nick offered to go ahead and run us around because he's got a pretty sweet chase truck set up for his trophy truck. So we got a big fatty box trailer with 2 rear steers in it and this sweet ass setup. How much does that thing hold?
About 25.
Woo! Today is New Year's Eve and we're in Lake Havasu. We wanted to say thank you to all of our subscribers and supporters who've just found us, and especially the OG ones who've watched us and our channel grow. Sadly, this will be the absolute last wheeling trip we ever go on. Well, for 2022 that is, and we are looking to end this year big because we know 2023 is going to be insane. We've got Nick and Nick Nelson in the blue RW1 Jimmy's rear steer chassis, Virgil in his Toyota Rock Lizard, Kevin in his yellow TJ buggy, and we are set out to hit some of Havasu's most epic trails to end the year. Howdy, howdy, this is the start of our New Year's weekend and we're looking to get rowdy! That is if we can find the trail.
What do you think, Nick?
I don't see how this is possible, but evidently it is.
Have you ever done rock crawling with Nick or anything?
No, I've never done it. This is my first time.
Dude, it's a good time.
It's crazy.
It's wild. Virgil, I don't remember what you did last time.
I got a little jacked up in here, I won't lie.
Ooh.
I fell down into here, I got all the way down here.
We were like this, and then we were sideways.
You were investigating all the ways not to do it.
Yeah, I hit every spot you can't go up.
No, I mean last time I thought for sure you're gonna do a U-turn in this crack.
Yeah, I got all crazy in there. It wasn't good.
No, it happens though.
No, I get you.
What the heck is this? Ew.
You.
I hope that's not a pee
Yeah,
bottle.
well, climbing out all those road gears in my trailer is the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe so bad.
Well,
I didn't do that.
let's do it.
This gatekeeper is absolutely wild. You crawl up a 6-foot step, then bank left towards a long, steep crack that has huge loose boulders with an undercut V-notch at the top. All these obstacles separate wouldn't be too bad, but putting them together makes this super challenging. Not to mention you're 3 stories up when you're at the top where the hardest part is. I approach the obstacle with my passenger side riding the wall and picking my driver's side through a boulder garden. As I get up to the V-notch, I drop off that passenger side wall so I can be more squared up to the undercut V-notch. If I stayed up on the wall, my front tires would hit the undercut and then want to torque me onto my side since all my weight is leaning that way anyway. Once I square up, I pinch my front tires into the V, popping me up and then rear steer to the driver to climb that wall so my rear diff doesn't get caught on its way out. Now we have Virgil in his Toyota-based Rock Lizard. He walks right up the first ledge, throws it straight in the front dig to make the super tight corner, and continues mobbing up the crack. Virgil has a very narrow and short wheelbase compared to the rest of the rigs, and has a passenger side drop pumpkin, and not to mention no rear steer. It turns out that this is the exact opposite combination for this obstacle. He gave it hell, but due to him wanting to hit more trails today, more than he wanted to hit this obstacle, he opted for a pullout.
Alright, so this one was a little rough and Virgil called it and winched on up. So, next up, Kevin. How do you feel about this, Kevin? Alright. Alright.
Here's Kevin, our local Havasu homie, and his yellow TJ-based buggy, making sure we don't get lost and get the most out of our trip. This rig might be undergunned, but with Kevin's home court advantage and great driving, he was able to find the sweet spot and crawl right through it. This is Nick Nelson in his Jimmy's 4x4 RW1 rear steer chassis. He hasn't had this car very long, but he crawls right up this and makes it look easy. I think he has watching too much wrecked gear to blame.
Hey, Nick made it. Making it look easy.
Who's Nick?
That was solid, man. I like that thing.
It's crazy, man.
You're a freaking rock crawler virgin.
Yeah, pop my cherry. Pop my cherry, baby.
Was it good? Was it everything you thought it'd be more?
I still don't see how it's possible, but.
We are headed out to the next obstacle that I like to call the wedgie. It's a crack that is just a little narrower than our wheelbase, and you have to squeeze through it. At the end, there's a bottleneck undercut that you have to work your front tires back and forth using front dig to get over the bottleneck without getting jammed up or getting bound. Well, that is unless you were super narrow like Virgil's Yoda Rock Lizard, then you can just crawl right through this sucker.
But it looks good.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah.
It looks scary, but it's really easy.
Yeah. Oh, these rocks have much more traction.
Yeah, not those ones though. They're super slippery too.
Yeah, those are like the same ones.
You can tell when they're shiny. You're like, oh man.
Yeah.
This could turn out bad.
I give it a 10.
10.
Let's check out side-by-side driving styles and line choice between the two rear steers. On the left we have the Red Gear buggy, and on the right we've got Nick Nelson's buggy. Both are set up extremely similar. Same wheelbase, same axles, similar chassis specs, both on 42s and water in the front tires. You can see I take the creepy crawly approach, and Nick comes at it a bit faster, which makes sense being an Ultra 4 champion, trophy truck driver, and jet boat mafia pioneer. Speed is what he does. Though we have pretty different driving styles, we take almost the same exact line. Now for the drag axles. On the left we've got Virgil and his Rock Lizard buggy, and on the right we've got Kevin and his TJ buggy. Both rigs are very different. Virgil has a shorter wheelbase, narrow axle width, and water in the front tires, and is only 2/3 the weight of Kevin's rig. Kevin's rig has a transfer case doubler, which gives him the ability to have a super low crawl ratio and takes advantage of it. Even though they are completely different and take different lines, they both make it up.
So as Kevin was saying, this obstacle, it's not necessarily difficult, but all the rocks are super slick. So luckily it hasn't rained yet, because I can't imagine doing that in the rain when it's all wet, if it's that slick just in general. Colby's confirmed that it's slippery.
Watch out for the choya bombs. A bunch of pricks, man, and show bombs.
And then what? Up here? I almost put my hand in a choya bomb. So, I don't know if you guys know about choyas, but here's one in action.
Come out on top.
Choyas are legit probably one of the worst cactus Arizona has. They also call it jumping cactus because the entire branch comes off with the lightest amount of pressure, making it seem like it jumped onto you. Once you're stuck, it's like fly paper, but with hundreds of needles to hurt you. If you get it stuck on one hand and you use the other, it sticks to it as well, making it almost impossible to get off without some sort of tool.
Oh my gosh, there's 2 dead birds in here.
What?
And a nest. Look at it.
Is.
This is a true sign of how rough and brutally harsh the Arizona deserts can be, and you should always use caution and be aware of your surroundings. We've made it to the end of the first trail that has no name, but on our way out, I stopped and pointed out a rad waterfall that looked pretty gnarly, and if it had been crawled, it hadn't been crawled much. As I was deciding if I should try to continue on following Virgil or maybe give it a shot, I looked over and Nick is already heading towards it and lining up on it.
Okay, good. Nick's bringing the drama.
We're here for a party. I can feel that one coming.
Had to go for it anyway.
You know when a man rolls his buggy and hops out with a smile like that on? Can only mean one thing. This guy lives and loves to absolutely push the limits.
Dude, how was that first rollover on your first off-road?
The oh shit bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ready? Yeah. All right, go.
Luckily, we're pretty good at recovering rigs on the trail. Kevin drove to the top of the ridge to get the best angle to hook up and get him back on all fours. Not long after we got back on the trail, Virgil hit a sharp rock and finally punctured one of his 7-year-old BFGs. We threw some plugs in it and we came up with a new plan. The plan was called Get Back to the Trailers. Since we were already taking it slow and easy, we figured we'd focus on cleaning up the trail.
Phew! Howdy, howdy. Check out what I found on the trail. A sweet, I don't know, I'd say fair condition set of glasses. And I'm taking it with me. Hey, what do you guys think of my glasses?
You fancy, dog.
This has got to be one of the most useful trail finds that we've found to date.
There's a fire extinguisher.
We went quite a ways, but Virgil's tire kept spitting out the plugs. So we set him in another rig to go get his spare tire from the trailer. So we hung out, cleaned up the area, and had snacks for about an hour with his buggy. When they get back, we are going to go straight back to the trailers and go home.
This is not okay. Ugh. Babe, look. Did you know that cigarette butts are the #1 most littered item in the world? Don't do that either. What you got there?
I got trash.
What is it, a water? Oh. He's like disintegrating. Just kidding.
I hate keep saying that. Just pick up your own trash. It's not that hard. Or if you see trash that isn't yours, just pick it up.
Good job, bud.
If you guys thought for a second that we went to go get Virgil's spare just to go to the trailers and head home, well then you're crazy. You know we couldn't close out 2022 without a bang. No better way to wrap up 2022 than a 2.5-story waterfall shooter. I want to thank each and every one of our subscribers and supporters. 2022 has been one hell of a ride, and we couldn't be here if it wasn't for all of your support. From all of us at Rec Gear, we hope you had a great New Year's, and here's to a 2023 being the rowdiest year yet. Sponsored in part by BFGoodrich Tires, Warren Industry Winches, KC HiLites, and AXEL Off-Road Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly-do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment below.